2 Beaufort County schools are broken into and robbed. A report was released about Beaufort County SAT scores, and a rally took place in Beaufort. We'll bring you the details. All that and much more. Keep watching Beaufort. Your news starts now. Thanks for joining us for the Beaufort News. I'm Jessa Jeremiah, and here are your local headlines. Authorities are searching for 2 suspects who broke into Beaufort County schools and stole roughly $15,000 worth of merchandise. Police say the suspects broke into Ladies Island Middle School at about midnight Saturday night and then made their way to Coosa Elementary. The suspects stole 27 iPads, some accessories, and some cash. So far, no arrests have been made. The Beaufort County Sheriff's Office is investigating a Georgia man accused of attempted murder on St. Helena Island. Officials say 22-year-old Melissa Poppy Turner attempted murder over what may have been an argument between the suspect and the victim's son. They say Poppy picked up the man from his house, shot him several times, and left him for dead. The man thankfully was able to get help. He's currently being treated at Beaufort Memorial Hospital. A beloved Beaufort mom and pop shop was recently robbed for the 4th time. Pruitt's grocery store on Green Street was the victim of this crime, where thankfully nobody was hurt. According to reports, the robber kept saying he wanted money and then fired a gun before leaving the store. Many people have stopped by Pruitt's grocery to check on 81-year-old owner James Pruitt since the incident. Mr. Pruitt was back for opening for business that very next morning. A report just released by the College Board shows that Beaufort County SAT scores have increased over last year. The report shows that average scores for the 5 Beaufort County public high schools increased 48 points from 1383 in 2012 to 1431 in 2013. Average scores at Hilton Head High, Bluffton, Battery Creek, and Whale Branch improved, while scores at Beaufort High School decreased. Statewide, South Carolina's overall average was up 1 point at 1423. After much anticipation, it appears Beaufort will not be the location for the upcoming country music film Route 65 Nashville. In July, a star-studded cast arrived in Beaufort to promote the movie featuring Beaufort native and American Idol contestant Haley Davis. Now the movie is being moved back to Nashville as financing for the movie never came together. It would have been the first movie shot in South Carolina that qualified under the film incentives. Okatee Elementary was recently recognized by the U.S. Department of Education as a National Blue Ribbon School. Recognized for serving as a model school of good public education, the school was one of 5 South Carolina schools nominated for the award. This is the 2nd time a Beaufort County school has been named a Blue Ribbon School, as Beaufort Elementary earned the first in 1998. 16 Beaufort County teachers were surprised recently when they found out they won grants that ranged from $115 to $500. The grants were for innovative teacher grants given by the Foundation for Foundational Educational Excellence, Armed with balloons and oversized checks, the foundation delivered the good news in person to each school. The grants were given for several different projects and totaled more than $5,300. The Jasper County School District announces the sudden loss of their athletic director, Mr. James Gardner. Mr. Gardner began working in the Jasper County School District as athletic director in 2010 after serving as a member of the Jasper County School District Board of Trustees. Mr. Gardner was instrumental in helping student athletes go on to sign college scholarships to further their careers. He passed away Thursday evening at 60 years old. If you'd like additional information on these headlines, you can reference the media sources you see listed on your screen. Also, you can like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Coming up, we bring you a business report to keep you updated on the Affordable Care Act, and there are new businesses on Bay Street that we have in our Hot Off the Press report. That's after the break.
Low Country Real Estate is located in historic downtown Beaufort, home to one of the most attractive real estate markets in America. We've been providing high-quality service to our community for the past 24 years. Whether you're interested in buying or selling residential, resort, or commercial investment property, our professional sales staff can help you with your real estate needs. Please visit lowcountryrealestate.com for details on all available properties in Beaufort and come see how the Low Country becomes you.
Welcome back to the Beaufort News. Joining us first is Miss Kayla Logue, who's got our hot off the press report. How are you, Kayla?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Now, Kayla, I understand that there is a military study in the works for the Beaufort area regarding the role and effect of Beaufort's military community and bases. So what is this study all about?
Well, the study is a part of many projects that will bring future growth, but this particular study with the military community and its bases is focused on how to grow without causing problems with its current residents. Some of these problems include airspace and land restrictions, noise, urban growth, and some other things that would most likely not interest those that are currently residents.
Okay, and is there a specific goal of this study?
The goal is for the local and state governments to cooperate with the military bases and point out their needs. In order to do this, they must implement a plan, make a description of who is actually responsible for this, and also bring an estimated cost to the table. By implementing this will strive to keep current residents and businesses happy.
All right, well, it'll be interesting to see what they find with that study. So I'm going to move on to another story. I know this past Saturday there was a rally that took place in Beaufort regarding the immigration reform. So tell us a little bit about this, if you would.
The Low Immigration Coalition members rallied outside of the Congressman Mark Sanford's office this Saturday at noon with hopes of planning a meeting to discuss the immigration reform. The rally dignifies the support for Congress creating a path of citizenship for undocumented immigrants.
Okay, very interesting stuff. Now, I'm going to move on to our last story because I want you to give us some information, if you could, on the Beaufort seafood business that has what I hear is a unique tactic for selling their shares. So tell us about that story.
Well, due to less infrastructure and fewer boats, Craig Reeves, who owns the Sea Eagle Market, believes community-supported sales will preserve the fishing industry. The process of this begins with customer purchasing a share, and then the business provides seafood at a set schedule.
All right, and how is this going to be beneficial to the fishermen as well as the customers?
Well, the fishermen benefit because they have money to cover the cost of getting in the water and actually producing this. And then the customers benefit because they receive seafood only from South Carolina.
All right, that's unique. All right, thanks, Kayla. Great stories. That's our Hot Off the Press with Kayla Logue. Joining us now for our business report is Will Wareham. Welcome, Will.
Hi, Jessa. How are you?
I'm great, thank you, and thanks for joining us. Now, a few things to talk about today. I want to talk to you about shopping for medical insurance. I know the health insurance marketplace begins this week, so talk to us, if you can, about a preview for this.
Sure. So in 2014, most U.S. citizens will be required to carry some kind of health insurance. And shopping for health insurance in this newly created health insurance marketplace begins this week, as you mentioned. The federal government has provided some hints at what individual costs might be, but details like where you live, the county you live in, the size of your family, your income level, and your level of coverage desired creates a large range of actual costs. There will be a variety of levels of plans available to you in this health insurance marketplace. The bronze level will cover 60% of your medical costs. The silver level of plan will cover 70% of medical costs. The gold level of plans will cover 80% of medical costs. Some other states will be offered a platinum level of plans, which covers 90% of costs, but South Carolina will not be offered that platinum plan. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the first South Carolina specific numbers have been released. And according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, a family of 4 in South Carolina with an income of approximately $50,000 a year could pay as little as $109 per month for the least expensive plan in the new health insurance marketplace. Now, that figure takes into account tax credits, which will be used to reduce insurance premiums for families of 4 making up to $94,000. Beaufort, Jasper, and Hampton counties consistently will have the lowest rates in the state. So this week is you can start shopping for this insurance, but by no means is this week your deadline. There are multiple possible finish lines for you. The marketplace for 2014 insurance closes in March 31st of 2014. You can visit healthcare.gov this week to learn more about these new health insurance options.
Okay, well, a lot of factors that come into play there. We'll go to healthcare.gov for more information. And thank you very much for that informative business report, Will Wareham of WHHI. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks, Jessa.
After the break, we bring you some interesting information from Beaufort County Human Services Alliance. And Ashley Hutchinson is here to talk about the Child Find Expansion Grant. So stay with us.
Allison Ramsey Architects believes that good design is a result of a collaborative effort between the architect, the builder, and most importantly, the client. The Low Country lifestyle incorporates all aspects of the home, and good design reflects the character of a family. No longer items of luxury, good design is standard. Let us help you craft a home built with everyday living in mind. Allison Ramsey Architects, creating sustainable, timeless design.
Welcome back to the Beaufort News. Joining us now is Fred Lyda, who is the Director of Human Services for Beaufort County Human Services Alliance. Welcome, Fred.
Thank you.
Now, Fred, I know you have a lot to talk about when it comes to the Human Services Alliance, but first, give us just a little bit of information about what Human Services Alliance is.
The Alliance is a network, about 120 agencies crossing all the sectors, for-profit, nonprofit, health, education, crossing all those sectors, agencies getting together and talking about what it is that they do. We've always had really good work going on in the community, but it's happening in silos where organizations are operating independent. The idea behind the Alliance was to get everybody around the table and all hitch our wagon to the same train and pull in the same direction.
Okay, and give us a little background, if you would. How was the Alliance formed and whose idea was this?
This has been evolving over the last 30 or 40 years in Beaufort County. It started, back in like the 60s and 70s with a group of people who had grown up here. They were friends, they went away to college and came back and became agency directors. When they did, they started having lunches together, and that eventually evolved into the Beaufort Youth Council. Over the years, that council then expanded and added more agencies, and it became the Human Services Coordinating Council. And then along about 2000, we had a kind of an explosion. We went from the 35 or so agencies that had been meeting for all those years to about over 85 agencies that came together out in Okatee and started this kind of next evolution of calling ourselves the Alliance.
All right, well, that's a neat story of growth. So tell us a little bit about who the Alliance benefits and how the Alliance benefits them.
Sure. We try to address quality of life issues all the way across the board. So from early childhood, prenatal, home visits, all the way up through senior citizens, and every aspect of life in our county in terms of the quality of that life. So while you have a lot of these agencies that are working on different issues, could be teen pregnancy, could be early childhood, all of them need to be recognizing that the efforts they're working on are all interconnected. And so if we can be more aware of what each other are doing, we can look for ways that we can share resources. A good example would be training. A lot of agencies have to pay in order to maintain a social worker on their staff, and that social worker has to get continuing education units every year in order to maintain a license. We hold a training once a month for free so that the agencies don't have to spend money sending their person to Columbia, losing that person for a day, spending the per diem or the registration costs. It's all done right here locally in our community, and if they take all of the trainings that we offer, they'll earn all of the CEUs or continuing education units that they need in order to maintain their license at no cost.
All right, well, what a great organization, and we greatly appreciate you joining us today and sharing what it's all about. So Fred Lyda, the Director of Human Services for Beaufort County Human Services Alliance, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Now we're joined by Ashley Hutchinson, who's the coordinator of early childhood education for the Beaufort County School District, who's here to talk about the Child Find Expansion Grant. So first of all, welcome, Ashley.
Thank you.
So if you would, tell us what exactly is Child Find?
Child Find is a local and state program that helps identify children with possible developmental delays.
And how do you decide which children in Beaufort County you're going to serve?
Actually, our Child Find process is open to all children in Beaufort County. Through a screening process, we're able to screen the children, and with that, we're able to see if a child might be needed to be connected to services.
So Ashley, I saw a news report recently that you had received some kind of grant to expand Child Find. So what can you tell us about that grant?
Yes, through a grant through the Learning Center of Beaufort in association with the Coastal Community Foundation, we received a grant in the amount of $100,000 to expand our current Child Find efforts. So not only being able to identify children in the community with possible developmental delays, but also connecting families to community resources.
Okay, now you speak of community resources. What kinds of community resources are available to help children and their families as well?
There are several community resources available in Beaufort County. We try to connect families with those resources that best fit the need of the family. It might be an early childhood program, and it might be a connection with Department of Social Services. It just depends on the need of the family.
All right, Ashley. Well, very good work that you guys are doing. Very interesting information. Thank you so much for joining us. That is Ashley Hutchinson from the Beaufort County School District, who is the coordinator of early childhood education. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
After the break, we're bringing you details on the 19th Annual Shrimp Festival that's just around the corner. And Councilman Joe Lee gives us the latest Port Royal report. Stay right where you are. The Beaufort News. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the town of Port Royal, located along the Intercoastal Waterway and Battery Creek in the heart of South Carolina's Lowcountry. One of America's leaders in small-town new urbanism, where visitors enjoy shopping and dining, and residents appreciate the tranquility of a quiet walking village. Come experience the hospitality and growth of a beautiful coastal community. Come experience the opportunities of Port Royal, South Carolina.
Welcome back to the Beaufort News. Joining me with our Port Royal news is Councilman Joe Lee. How are you today, Joe?
I'm just fine, Jessica. Thank you.
Great. Well, we're glad to have you. Now, Joe, I know you've got an update for us. There are new shrimp docks that are about ready, I believe. So tell us what you know.
Yes, Jessica. The town has been busy for the last few weeks repairing and restoring the shrimp docks there in Port Royal. This is a public adventure, so everybody will be able to take advantage of these shrimp docks. We should be able to service several shrimp boats.
And what's going to be available for the public?
Well, there'll be docking privileges, but also the retail store should be open in the next couple of weeks, and that'll mean that the public can come and buy shrimp fresh off the boat and any other catch that might be available. The retail store's been refurbished and new ice machines and everything. It's going to be really, really nice.
Okay, great. When exactly does that open, or how will viewers know when it is open?
Well, thank goodness for WHHI. We'll be giving you an update on HHI as soon as it's open, and we hope everybody will come and enjoy fresh seafood.
All right, great. Well, we look forward to it. Now, real quick, I want to get to your town hall. Is there something new? Tell us what you know about that.
Yes, we've installed a kiosk in town hall that provides guests with information about our wetlands and stormwater management system, but also on how to protect Port Royal Sound. It's a co-op adventure with Low Country Institute and several folks, and there will be several of these kiosks around the area, but we're real proud to have this, and you can come into Town Hall between the hours of 8 and 5 and take a look at this. It's right in the lobby.
All right, sounds good. We'll do just that. Now, real quick before we go, Joe, tell me the last street music of the season is going to be the 5th. Is that correct?
That's correct. October the 5th. It's Celtic music. We're going to close the season with a really fun group of folks. Come and bring your dancing shoes.
All right, Joe. Well, thank you so much for your Port Royal report. As always, it's been a pleasure. Councilman Joe Lee.
Thank you.
Beaufort is gearing up for the 19th annual Beaufort Shrimp Festival coming this weekend to Waterfront Park. Lowcountry Weekly has those details and more with our Out and About report.
Thanks a lot. Main Street Beaufort USA and the South Carolina Shrimpers Association are gearing up for the 19th annual Beaufort Shrimp Festival, coming this weekend to Waterfront Park. This two-day festival is a celebration of South Carolina wild-caught shrimp, local food, and low-country fun. Things kick off Friday at 6 p.m. with a party in the park you don't want to miss. Live music will be provided by regional favorites Dee's Guys, and local restaurants will be previewing their shrimp dishes for Saturday's competitions. The Arts and Craft Market opens at noon that day. Saturday's events start at 8 a.m. with the 5K Bridge Run Walk and the Popcorn Shrimp Run at 8:45 for the kids. Festivities continue all day starting at 11 a.m. with great food tastings, children's activities, the Arts and Craft Market, and the East Coast Party Band. For more information, visit www.BeaufortShrimpFestival.com. The Monday night movie audience is growing at USCB Center for the Arts, your local headquarters for independent film. Next Monday, October 7th, is the screening of Prince Avalanche, directed by David Gordon Green and starring Paul Rudd and Emile Hirsch. Driven by their striking performances, it's an offbeat comedy about two men painting traffic lines on a desolate country highway that's been ravaged by wildfire. Against this dramatic setting, the men bicker and joke with each other, eventually developing an unlikely friendship. Funny, meditative, and at times surreal, Prince Avalanche features a score by Explosions in the Sky and David Wingo and was shot by frequent Green collaborator Tim Orr. The screening begins at 7 p.m. For more information, visit www.uscbcenterforthearts.com. The Beaufort Symphony Orchestra will open its new season with a concert titled The Last Word, featuring the final works of Franz Joseph Haydn and Antonin Dvorak. Haydn's Symphony No. 104, popularly known as the London Symphony, was composed in Vienna in 1795 following a stay in London, during which he composed the first 6 of the London series. Dvorak's Symphony No. 9, famously known as the New World Symphony, was composed in 1893 while he was living in America. Its first movement, Adagio, evokes the feeling of being carried far away from a familiar place with sadness, fear, suspense, and then hope. This may explain why Neil Armstrong took a recording of it with him on Apollo 11 for the first manned landing on the moon. The concert will be performed Thursday, October 10th at 7:30 p.m. and Sunday, October 13th at 3 p.m. at the USCB Center for the Arts. Tickets are $37.50 and may be ordered at www.beaufortorchestra.org. And now back to you.
That's all for us today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jessa Jeremiah. Join us next time for your Beaufort News.